Ooh. Welcome to Nuts at Night, episode number 109. The show on the Podnutz network where we try to bring things of interest to the show, maybe enlighten your life, enrich your life is the word I was looking for. Funny videos on the internet, things that happen to us, product reviews, all kinds of stuff that maybe we can't or don't cover on the other Podnutz shows. We all glom into this show. So this is like the residual content. And it usually turns out being pretty fun. I quite enjoy it. I hope you will too. So that is what the show is about. Let me introduce the co-host for tonight's show, starting with Steve D'Amico from StephenD'Amico.com. Or StephenD'Amico.com, smdcomputer.net. I always mix them up, man. I'm sorry.
That's cool.
How's it going?
So do I. Great. Feeling much better. I was kind of sick last week.
Yeah, thank God you're feeling better.
Thanks.
We need the Steve D action. A lot of people are getting sick this week. We'll get to one of them on the show in a second. After I introduce Eric Salce. Eric Salce on Google Plus. What's going on?
Hello, everybody. Just hanging out.
I'm glad you're hanging out.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, appreciate it. Also joining us, Chris Barry from TechnologyAdventures.com. What's up, Chris?
Hey, I'm sick too. I'm the guy he's talking about. Hello, everybody. I'm on a lot of medication again.
Damn. Well, at least you're not seeing fruit flies this time.
I am. They're everywhere, man. I got rid of the bag of empty beer cans that they're all living in, so it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Oh man, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Also joining us for the first time on Nuts at Night, Android benchmark champion of the world, Cody Cooper. What's up, Cody?
Thank you. Oh man, if I'm coming in a little bit too bright on the video feed, I'm just glowing from what I did not less than an hour ago. And if you didn't catch it, go back and watch it at twitch.tv/podnuts.
Yes, you can watch it there. It's Android App Addicts episode number 56. There was some domination of Android phones going on there.
Oh, yes.
And Cody was involved. All right, let's start off the show this week with Steve D. What do you want to talk about?
I figure I usually start the show with some kind of computer repair-related debacle, and I think I have a pretty good one. I'm not sure if I mentioned on the show about liking something, but I used to like these SATA to IDE converters. I'm sure some people have been messing with them somewhere, and I was using them for a while, and they were working for me, but now I'm noticing that they're kind of intermittent, and I'm starting to feel bad for some of my clients that I started putting them on, I started setting up these, these older computers that only have IDE setups, I would take the little converter, and I'd put it in there, and it worked great in my office, and then I'd give it to them, and they would have to, reboot their system a few different times to get it to work, and it's the weirdest thing ever.
You mean after they reboot it, it works?
Well, yeah. Okay, you hit the power button, right? And then the computer says, missing system32.dll, right? Or something like that, right? Or it just does a blinking cursor. And then you go, okay. And then you hit the power button, shuts it off, and hit the power button again, and then Windows loads.
It's weird.
It's completely bizarre.
Is it BIOS related?
No, it's just these. I'm 99% sure it's these hard drive converters. These little SATA. The hard drive is SATA, but it's an IDE system. So the little adapter is basically just a converter to make that newer SATA hard drive work.
I wish you guys would come on Podnuts Daily and get this out of your system for Nuts at Night.
Why? I got a question. Why would you put a SATA drive in an IDE system? Why wouldn't you just buy an IDE drive?
Because they're actually more money now.
What do you care?
Well, I don't care, but sometimes, no, I don't care. But the availability is also difficult as well. A lot of the stores don't even carry them.
I will vouch for that. They were getting hard to find 2 years ago.
Yeah,
my suppliers and stuff have them.
You're not finding a lot of 3 terabyte IDE drives nowadays.
No, nothing. 160, 250 at most. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to even get them. So
it sounded like a bad idea. I'm pretty sure you told us about this another time, and I'm pretty sure I said that doesn't sound like a good idea.
Well, I mean, it worked great.
And he's still doing it for some reason?
No, I'm actually out
It's
of
like he's
them.
not listening to you or something.
I know. God, driving me crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So is there a solution that you found, or you just wanted to? Is
Yeah.
this like a public service announcement?
It's a public service announcement. Don't use them. That's the solution.
It's hard. It's hard
What do
not
you-
to. They're like $10, if that.
What-
Yeah.
What
or
did
I
you
get 'em
tell
on
your
eBay.
customer to do? What do you tell them now? Do you just say, just live with it, push the power button a few times?
Well, I was lucky enough to actually do this on the two systems that I had this problem with. I was lucky enough that the computer had other issues, and I was like, yeah, this isn't going to be fixed. You're really not going to be able to get the speeds that you're looking for, because they were just slowing down. I was like, you're not going to be able to get the speeds you're looking for with this setup. I kind of made a mistake, and then I just I took back the repair and sold them a different system, and then I just kind of ate the cost, the original cost. So I just set them system up almost for free, and just like, it's hard to explain. Like, I just called it one service call for the two.
Yeah, you have to
It was-
backtrack on that.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's kind of they didn't have a solution. I mean, the solution I gave them just didn't work out. so I
Just
had
refer them to
tried
Technology Adventures.
No. I don't want your cheap customers. I want to go. I want to go next because I have a story that's similar to Steve's after Steve's done. Okay.
All right, Steve D.
I'm just saying, don't use them. And that was kind of a oops kind of situation. And I figure, what better place to say it than publicly?
Thank you. Good tip. We will definitely.
Well said. Well said.
Yes. All right. I guess we'll let Chris go and tell his story.
Of woe. So I went to see this lady, and I'm not going to go too far on how different she was because I don't want her to like sue me or anything weird if she's listening. But she was definitely the weirdest customer I've ever dealt with, and I've been in retail for 15 years, so that take what you want from that.
Wow.
So anyways, of course she has this problem. It's her when you plug her Ethernet cord into the back of her 1-year-old Acer small mini desktop computer, like sort of those all-in-one little Acer jobbies, but the monitor is not connected, but it's just everything in one little desktop. You plug the Ethernet cord in the back. Windows 7 looks like it's trying to get a connection, and then it says connected but no internet connection. You've probably seen that error, and you get the little stupid little yield sign. Anyways, I tried everything. I went through I spent 2 hours at her house trying to fix this problem. The internet was working fine because I plugged it into my laptop. It was fine. So something with hers. She, on her desktop, had the Windows System 32 folder on her desktop and another system folder in her favorites menu in the Windows Explorer. So she was touching things she shouldn't have. When she would grab the mouse, she would just click. So she, on her way to the start menu, she'd have clicked 6 times, right? So she'd be click, 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 hit the start menu, click, click, click. Just as soon as her hand touched the mouse, she'd start clicking and click, 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 click.
Why was she doing that?
I don't know. Again,
Did you ask her?
There's something wrong.
Because if she does it, her
This
computer will
person?
never run good, though.
I know. So there's something wrong with this person. Okay. So anyways, I couldn't figure it out. And I said, okay, well, you must have been messing around with these system folders. I don't like to blame you because it's probably not your fault. But at this point, maybe it is your fault. I'm just going to have to format the system because I don't know. It's been 2 hours. I'm just going to charge you $150 because I felt bad for her at this point and I wasted so much time. Usually I charge $200 for this job. Okay. So I bring the system home. She has no data on it. Nothing. Not one document, not one picture, not anything. What she used the computer for was checking lotto numbers and something called Plenty of Fish. Do you guys have that? Where it's like a dating site.
Yes.
Right? It's the only 2 things she used it for. She had nothing else on this computer. So I went, okay, it's going to be super easy. Format with a disk of mine, not the crappy Acer recovery, just my disk. Format, reinstall, all new drivers. Plug it in. Ethernet works perfect here. Perfect. I go, beautiful. Take it back to her place, plug it in, doesn't work again. There's nothing wrong with her internet connection. I change out the modem. I change out the wire. Still nothing.
How do you know
And so
there's
I
nothing
just-
wrong with her connection? You tried it on your
Because
computer?
I plugged it into my laptop and it worked fine. Okay, it's a straight draw from the modem, the cable modem, into the back of the computer. There's no router. There's no nothing.
Right. Okay.
I plugged it into my computer. Perfect. Still didn't do it. I told her, I'm sorry. I don't know. You don't owe me $1. I mean, I spent about 6 hours on this, and I just walked away.
Wow, you
Hey.
guys, for Chris to do that.
It's
Wow.
the first time I've done this business for, well, part-time for about 6 years, full-time for just over a year now, and I've never had to not charge somebody. I've always figured it out enough to charge them, right? I didn't charge a
Enough to
nickel,
charge them.
and I just walked away. She calls every hour and a half. That's how much she called when I had her computer for the 2 days to format it. She called me every hour and a half. Like, I blocked her number now because I just can't take it anymore. And it's just the worst call I've ever had.
Wow.
Thank God I don't have my address, my home address, anywhere on where people can find it easily online. She could never figure out how to get to my website even. She was recommended to me too, which is even worse.
Wow.
I was just like, oh my God. I called the person that recommended it, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. And they're like, oh, I feel bad for you. Sorry for recommending her. I'm like, that's okay.
Wow.
It was awful. I feel bad for her too, because I think there's something wrong, somewhere there.
Yes.
But I told her to keep the $200 you were going to spend me with taxes and go buy yourself a new computer or call another tech. Either way, you don't owe me anything. So, because what else am I going to do, right?
Oh, the crazies, I just leave them alone. Your business is much better off. You do not want crazies around.
I learned
Can I
my
tell you what I
lesson.
would have done?
Yes, what would you have done?
I would have tried to Ethernet to USB adapter and see if it would have gone
did.
that way.
I had
That way,
one.
it would at least have a connection.
A USB, I have it. I've showed it on the show before. It's a Cisco one. I have it in my bag. I plugged that in there. Still didn't work.
I think someone in the chat room said it. It's not the computer. It was the person. She's crazy, therefore her internet will be crazy.
Yeah, it must be. Seriously. And then I was like, well, maybe it's her keyboard or her mouse or her speakers causing problems. So I unplugged everything except the monitor because I need the monitor to see. Still no internet connection.
All right.
Man, I tried everything. I went online and tried all the little registry hacks and, put full duplexing on, 50 megabit, half duplex, all these things, going through just the inner networking innards of Windows, which I hardly, know enough to even stumble through, but I can click. So, I was going through and doing it. Nothing. And then when does a format and reinstall not fix that, right? Never. It always,
When it's the
that's
modem?
always, yeah, I try, but so how does it work on my computer? I have a Windows 7 X220 that I plugged in via Ethernet.
There's no rational explanation. I'm telling you. It's a crazy connection. Oh, well, thank you for sharing that story.
Yes.
I don't know who's going to go next, so we're going to do a coin flip like we did last show. Heads, Cody. Tails, Eric.
Okay.
Eric, you're up.
Alrighty. This is an old story. I'm sure a couple of folks has heard about it, but this comes out of DEF CON, and this is a 10-year-old little hacker girl who apparently moonlights as a Girl Scout on the side.
Serious?
Yeah. So in case anyone didn't hear, the short answer is a 10-year-old Girl Scout hacker. That's right.
All right, let me get this link. I'm putting it in there. And what does she do?
She found a zero-day exploit in a couple of games. I believe they're like Facebook games and all that, where she changes the clock. It like speeds up how fast things work. Not as impressive by itself, but picture this girl in like 10 years.
Wow.
All right. And she like boyfriend cheats on her or some crap like that. That poor kid has no idea what's coming his way.
Yeah, totally.
Because think of it, because
Viruses.
you know her dad is a hacker, right? Because how else do 10-year-old girls get into it? I'm just saying.
That's
and then
true.
and now not only does he have to worry about dad, but now he's got to worry about his ex-girlfriend who's a crazy hacker.
She's a co-founder of DEF CON Kids. I didn't even know that existed. This is
I didn't know
awesome.
that existed either.
She's
think that's first year.
awesome. Eric, let's get her on the show.
Yeah,
You
she's
should.
awesome.
She is
She
totally
can't.
awesome.
She can't be
This
up
is-
this late.
This is a yeah.
Don't piss her off, man.
Yeah.
That's
totally.
Cody Cooper at.
Oh,
What's her name? What's her
whatever.
name? What's her name?
It says sci-fi here. That's her handle. And that's all they
Sci-fi.
get.
That was Cody Cooper on Google Plus. Who said
Oh.
that?
Thanks. All I have to say is the Girl Scouts have really updated their curriculum.
Yeah, right. There's like the hacking
I got
badge.
the hacker patch.
The
Yeah.
hacker patch.
All right, everybody,
That's
put the
freaking cool.
s'mores down. Bring up a terminal.
DEF CON Kids. I love that, man.
It's craziness. So yeah.
Way to go. Maybe she studied Kevin Mitnick, who I actually started after Chris talked about that last show. I started watching Kevin Mitnick stuff. That dude is awesome.
Yeah.
You gotta love that dude because he's just like,
Yeah.
I just felt like it. He's like, I like the rush, you know, and he's like hacks in all these companies. They're like, why